They don't come much bigger than this, do they? Trev bidding for racing history here. They're lined up and they're off racing in the 2015 Qatar Prix de Triomphe. And Trev's pacemaker, Shahar, straight into the lead from New Bay. Very handy in second in the pink cat. Golden Horn is ridden forward by Frankie Dettori on the wide outside, apart from the other runners at the moment. Really detached from the rest of the field from his wide position. In behind the leaders is Flincher in the green cap. Erupt is on the inside. And then behind these is Dolnaya in a noseband, Manatee, then Free Eagle, Siljan Saga, and then Eagle Top towards the inside, Frine, and Trev has been manoeuvred towards the outside, silver jacket, maroon cap by Thierry Janet, out of trouble, was drawn towards the inner, but now towards the right of your picture, with behind Trev then is Tapestry and Silver Wave, and Prince Gibraltar, and in a colour change, Spirit Jim in the white jacket at the back of the field, swinging the top right-hander, and Shahar leads the way. Now Frankie's got Golden Horn into the inside. He's secured just about his ideal position there, followed by on the inside New Bay in the pink cap, Flincher in the green cap as they run downhill. Dolnaya, then Erupt, followed by Free Eagle, Siljan Saga, Manatee. Trev is on the outside into about 10th or 11th place now as they race towards the false straight. Shahar from Golden Horn, then in third is Flincher, followed by New Bay, Dolnaya, Erupt, Siljan Saga. Free Eagle goes well, Pat Smullen in the white sleeves, followed by Trev out wide, keeping in Tapestry, and then Eagle Top, Manatee to the inside, Prince Gibraltar. Well back is found at the moment, also well back is Spirit Jim, Silver Wave and Frine. They're about to turn for home in the arc, and Shahar leads the way. Trev now making rapid headway on the right. Shahar led them in from Golden Horn. They're followed by Flincher and New Bay up the inside. Trev unleashing a run out wide from Free Eagle as they run inside the final 2 furlongs. The Derby winner Golden Horn struck the front. Trev is trying to get on terms. Then Flincher and New Bay, Frankie Dettori on Golden Horn leading the way inside the final furlong from Flincher. Trev down the outside in a bid for history, but she's not going to get there. And Golden Horn has won the arc from his second. Flincher second again. Third and fourth tight between New Bay and Trev. She could never quite reel in Golden Horn. Running on well down the outside was Prince Gibraltar, followed by Silver Wave, Siljan Saga, well beaten Eagle Top, Dolnaya, Tapestry and Shahar. And the end of an amazing season for Frankie Dettori and an amazing season for this horse Golden Horn, who would be unbeaten this year but for that shock defeat by Arabian Queen in the Juddmonte International. And what a good ride it was from the outside draw. He was detached in the early stages. He wanted to get a clear run. He slotted into second behind the pacemaker. He was perfectly poised to pounce. Golden Horn wins. Flincher second in the green cap. Trev might have been third, fighting it out with New Bay, third and fourth, then Erupt and Free Eagle chasing them home, and some of them very well beaten indeed. Trev appeared to have every chance, but maybe on this fast ground, that killer kick was just missing. It's just dimmed her brilliance today. On soft ground, she might have won, but Golden Horn is a fast ground specialist, and he's a rattling good horse, an above average Derby winner, and now an ARC winner.
A fabulous performance to crown a magnificent season for the homebred Golden Horn in the silks of Anthony Oppenheimer. John Gosden's first arc. Frankie Dettori equals the record with a 4th Arc de Triomphe. And the irony is that the man who lost the ride on Trev should spoil her party with a brilliant ride on Golden Horn. A truly brilliant ride. He turned a terrible draw, the draw of the Russ beef, as John Gosden said memorably earlier, into a brilliant draw, whereas Thierry Janet turned an advantageous position into a worse one on Trev, who hung her chance late on, for all that she's acquitted herself with great credit in a share of third place. The admirable Flincher has fared the best of the Farb trio, just doing better than New Bay, who's run a wonderful race. Erupt, the Grand Prix de Paris winner, was 5th. In truth, all the horses that mattered were involved. One of those was Trev, but utterly dominant Golden Horn. Frankie Dettori said earlier this season, he's cold, there is no bottom to him. I don't know where the improvement will stop. All we can ever ask ourselves is, how on earth did this horse ever taste defeat 2 starts ago at York? Other than that, the season has been blemish-free. A brilliant performance from Golden Horn as we take the closing stages again. Cast your eye to Trev, right of shot, hanging down into Free Eagle, doing him no favours. The stewards here may take a look at that, but no danger at all to Golden Horn, who was by far the most superior today. A wonderful performance, a horse with a bomb-proof temperament. A horse like Trev, who went to the sales, but the owner breeder, could not find a buyer for the horse. And Frankie Dettori has come to 2015 and run through it in the saddle like a man possessed. And it's largely down to this horse and this horse's trainer, John Gosden. When Frankie Dettori realised that William Buick, the stable jockey, was on his way to Godolphin, his former employers, he thought, I wonder if I should give my old boss John a ring. Before he'd had time to do it, Gosden picked up the phone and said, come right out for me, and the rest will go down in history. Joining the record holders with 4 ARC victories. Saki, Marienbad, Lamtara, this one will mean more than all of them. Emma.
But I bet this means most to him. He was, to me there, Mick, absolutely genius getting across from stall 14.
Emma, this is an artist at work. And you know what? It's a difficult one because the last thing that you want to be is caught 3 and 4 wide. But watch Frankie's tactic here. He comes really wide. So everybody's going, where's he going? Well, the truth of it is, by going out there, nobody's really taking that much notice of him. They're not trying to force up and keep putting him wider and wider and wider. And of course now, because he's gone forward, he's away from the whole field. He can now just ease himself back in. Nobody on his inside is bothered about him because he's so far away from them. Because of that as well, his horse is not getting lit up, he's not buzzing, and he's just relaxed. I think Frankie has ridden this race perfectly.
And this is a tactic that we've seen Frankie Dettori play out before on 5 or 6 different occasions. Clearly a lot of thought's gone into it, and all of a sudden he finds himself sitting second when they've slowed the pace up in the perfect position. Trev, meanwhile, is 6-7 wide and was quite keen for some of the race.
Yes, he was, but the thing is, you know, I don't think we've got any excuses for Trev today. But John Gosden, his first arc, he's with Nick Luck, and I'm sure he's a very happy man.
You bet he's a happy man. Many fine moments in a glittering career, John. This must just about top the lot.
You know, it's great to win the Arc in France and the Derby in England. That's what it's about.
In the same season with the same horse, a wonderful horse with a wonderful temperament, but what a ride from Frankie Dettori.
Yes, the thing when you're drawn wide, and we had a lovely horse called Duncan who won the Prix here. If you stay wide for a long time, you can run your own little race, not be bothered by anyone, and then slot across. And we all felt that Free Eagle inside us and Dolnea, the Argos, Philly would be wanting to do what we want to do, and we thought, no, you get to stack 4 wide. So the plan was to do that. In the end, it was perfect because we used the pacemaker and sat beside it and then behind it and then kicked. Because as Frankie says, if you don't kick at a certain time here, they come like arrows at your back.
I mentioned a few moments ago that when William left you to join Godolphin, there was a vacancy there for a stable jockey. How long did it take you to think, I need the Italian back in the yard?
Well, it's Remembrance Sunday that William called and said he was off, and about 6 o'clock on Remembrance Sunday I called Frankie, because he rode his first winner in France many years ago at the Prix Perth. He never stopped talking the whole way home. I walked these tracks with him as a kid, talked about Longchamp, watch Yves Saint Martin, how he rides it, and he rides the track quite beautifully. This is not an easy place to ride. Steve Cawthon always said he found the most difficult in Europe. And I think those years are going back, and saying William and I walked around here and Chantilly and all those tracks, and you learn from each other.
And it's almost as though he's grown again as a person this year. We've seen it with each one of these group wins. He's just sort of, as he put it, become serene, calm, confident in himself all over again in his mid-40s.
I think you're talking about the horse. I think you're right. I think the horse has, and I think they've helped each other. And I kept saying he's a better horse coming from off the pace, and he was today. Just having to make the running, both at Sandown and at Leopardstown, was because his small field, drawn one, inside, no pace, get boxed in, so we were forced to go. But he's better this way. Better this way.
I'm going to let you go and lead him in. John Gosden, many congratulations. He's coming out to lead Frankie in now. What a season he's had. Over £4.5 million in prize money in England, and in front of the packed grandstand here at Longchamp, this horse Golden Horn's getting a terrifically warm reception, albeit that a huge portion of this crowd will have wanted Trev to prevail. She couldn't today. She's gone down fighting. She's run a good race, but this horse is a true champion. You may have heard the klaxon going here at Longchamp. There is a steward's inquiry, but it won't affect the winner. He was out of trouble all the way, and it was a fine ride, turning a bad draw into a good one, making a negative into a positive, using his rival's pacemaker. And here he is, Frankie Dettori, right alongside us now with John Gosden. Terrific performance. And of course, you'll remember the great See the Stars in 2009, winning the Derby and the Arc in the same season. Like this horse by Kate Cross, and like this horse, a horse versatile, tough, talented, and a horse who just doesn't know when to give up. Frankie Dettori, arms wide, receiving the adulation of this crowd here. Let's enjoy him back into the winner's enclosure.
Wow, it's an absolute privilege to be here. The crowd has gone absolutely mad for Frankie Dettori. And you know, one of the other reasons I think he's enjoying it all so much is because his family are now, his children are now old enough to appreciate it. His son is 16 today, and he's here. He's out of school for the weekend. That's a special moment, isn't it?
Well, it's you know what? When you've had a period where you haven't ridden the big winners, and they don't come much bigger than this, you kind of miss what that feels like. And then when you get that buzz again, like Frankie's had this year, he's got an insatiable appetite for this again. And it's great to see, because Frankie is a showman and he loves putting on a show. And when you come here and you can almost orchestrate the crowd like he does, I think it's brilliant. It's great for racing, and I think I'm really pleased for him, because you know what? He's a good guy, Frankie.
He's a good guy, and you know, he was telling me the other day that Arc Day, the tension in the weighing room, there is nothing else like it. You can cut it with a knife. The butterflies, the nerves leading up to a race like this would have been phenomenal. It's all panned out just as Frankie worked it out in his head. Golden Horn wins at 9-2. Flincher was second in the race at 20-1 for the second consecutive year, and New Bay was back in third at 5-1. That's a second and third for trainer Andre Fabre.